Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time seeing my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, so something could be random. And today we're talk about Dragon 9 Realms from How You Train Your Dragon series. Season 4 was a little boring, I'll be honest with you, but still kind of interesting, especially what's going on with Tom, because Tom of the last season found this sort of secret scroll that he sort of become obsessed with, trying to open it. Because of the assessments, he sort of misunderstood or mismanaged his whole team because of him, two little dragons get lost and meet Botsa. Botsa is sort of that villain that just grows in interesting things behind the scenes. It's one of those rare villains that he want to take the heroes, but the heroes don't know actually he exists. Not because he's a methodical, interesting villain, because this guy does attack, but he attacks sort of weird ways that you don't really think of, because he shoots something in the side but he doesn't know what he's shooting at. It affects the team, and that's what is sort of interesting, because they never actually meet him till season 4, because season 4 sort of introduced him with a team. What's an interesting idea, how Botsa is sort of unhinged, sort of how he thinks, like everything is sort of against him. The fact everything is wrong with him is because of him, because he doesn't have focus. He doesn't rely on other cells besides him. That's what makes him a very interesting villain. But I feel they sort of fall flat a little bit because they never really explored the idea that much. Even that the other 3 seasons, he did certain things affecting the team a certain way, but once again, I feel you could do so much more. In fact, this type of villain is sort of rare of everything. In fact, the only time I've seen him once in this old Supergirl comic that does a similar character that trying to hurt Supergirl, but Supergirl never knew this person actually exists. He just thought things just sort of happened, she had to clean it up. And that's what made it sort of interesting villain, that the hero doesn't know it exists, and they try to do everything to hurt the hero, but once again, it made it effective because they never knew actually existed. It's not like a secret organization. It's just sort of a crazy person obsessed with our heroes. That would make Botsa so interesting. In fact, if I met him, I feel they did the right steps. I feel how he manipulates the team, especially Tom. Tom wasn't sure what to do with the guy because he sort of introduced him as sort of a lost person in the world of Winter. He's just sort of confused, scared, till Eugene realized who this guy really is. He's trying to explain, yeah, this guy's crazy. But I think this was so interesting because Eugene came in as a new team member, add a lot of humor, because I love Eugene. He sort of breaks the mold of the series, make things more interesting. The only problem is sort of how they written him some of the episodes, because some episodes, in my opinion, is sort of boring, but because of Eugene, sort of helps out more. Feels he's trying to make things different, refreshing. Even that they're trying to do new things, like how Thomas says with this sort of secret box. Well, it's not a box. It's sort of a weird filter thing that he is obsessed with to actually figure out how to open this sort of magical box. In this box sort of appears in the Book of Dragons, the Hiccups book, and he's trying to analyze it, understand it. But I love it that makes sort of devices of the team, because Tom relies on this book that he cannot understand. And I feel that's sort of interesting because he sort of have fights with other team members. I think Lee, the girl, sister, I can't remember her name, fully name, is Eugene's little sister, that she sure raised by the myth and stories and used that to guide her certain decisions she makes. But I love it she butt head with Tom because they don't really see eye to eye, because Tom belittles her stories who guide her, but at the same time she responds the same thing to Tom, that how you can trust my old stories, you trust a book that has same years, a generation old of stories. Like, who should you trust, me or the book? The book they don't understand. But yeah, I love that sort of argument, that sort of undecisive what is the right choice. Listen to his friend who has little experience in realizing her stories is actually working out. still a book that he cannot understand. Yeah, I like that sort of divisiveness. I like that sort of thought process. Me, probably it's only lasted one episode. I wish you had more heady butt with the other team members, but that's, I think, the only issue I have about that. No, the ending was interesting because this is the first time Thunder finally meets his family. He also started connecting Thunder could be Toothless ancestor, and even Tom could be the ancestor of Hiccup. They even found their castle or their house. You find the family dragons. It's sort of fascinating, interesting what they did. Except for one thing that kind of annoyed me. Thunder's little brother, they called him Shadow. Shadow was sort of cute, but a little bit annoying because he's the one who keep making problems. I feel the writers relied on Shadow a little bit too much, in my opinion, because I feel because how the dragon raiders cannot understand the dragons, they had to keep guessing, and that was sort of always interesting. But because they leave a little bit too much of Shadow, I feel Shadow became sort of, I don't know, hated, because I did not like Shadow because he's the one who keep ruining things, keep making things worse on purpose. I guess I don't know, but it's one of the things that he could easily annoy you or fall in love with it. I don't know about you. You like Shadow, or you feel Shadow is sort of annoying? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now, I also like that Tom accidentally showed Thunder to his mom, but I love it how his mom and Tom are very similar, very excessive, very compulsive to answer their own questions. But at the same time, she is a good person who maybe realized this is very interesting. Let me tell my boss, or not. We don't know. They leave as a cliffhanger to see season 5. But that's my major problem. I'm not really hyped for season 5. I feel the series always been okay, not amazing, nothing mind-broken, but at the same time I like some of the ideas they pull out, those sort of interesting things that could work. But I don't know if the writers are well experienced, or they just don't know how to execute correctly, or they just don't know how to keep it canon. One of those three things. But all of that, I did enjoy. Even I get a little bored in between. But at the very end, I still see the next season. I don't know how you felt. You felt the series was, this season was good or not, or just I just quit. Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's have a wonderful day. Bye.